All right, let's dive into one of Shakespeare's most intense political thrillers, Julius Caesar. This is a story that is absolutely timeless. It's all about ambition, honor, and betrayal. And it's a pretty stark reminder of the bloody mess that can happen when a few powerful people decide to take history into their own hands. But before we get into all the drama, here's the quick and dirty version. Julius Caesar gets a pretty clear warning about the Ides of March. He ignores it, and well, he dies. Meanwhile, the Roman public, they change their lines easier than you flip a coin. And spoiler alert, it really doesn't end well for the assassins either. It kind of sets the stage perfectly for all the chaos that's about to unfold. So our story really kicks off right here. It all starts with a dangerous idea, one that begins to spread through a very politically charged Rome, where one man's fame is starting to look like a major threat to everyone else. So, you gotta picture this. Rome is basically throwing a massive party. Julius Caesar has just come back from war a hero, and the public absolutely loves him. I mean, they're treating him less like a general and more like a god. And while the crowds are cheering, a handful of powerful senators are watching from the sidelines, and they are getting very nervous. They don't see his popularity as a win for Rome. They see it as a huge, flashing warning sign that he wants to become a king. Okay, so let's get our key players straight, because you need to know who's who. First up, obviously, is Caesar, the man of the hour. Then you've got Marcus Brutus. He's a really noble guy who is a good friend to Caesar, but he loves Rome even more. Next, Caius Cassius. He's the real mastermind behind the whole plot, a brilliant guy, but he is just eaten up with jealousy. And finally, there's Mark Antony, Caesar's super loyal, incredibly smart right-hand man. Keep these four in mind, because everything revolves around them. Now, this whole conspiracy really depends on getting one guy on board, Brutus. His reputation for being honorable is the key to making an assassination look like a patriotic duty. And Cassius, who is a master manipulator, knows this. So what does he do? He forges these letters, making it seem like they're from the people of Rome, all begging Brutus to step in and save them from Caesar. He plants them right where he knows Brutus will find them. It's a brilliant, devious bit of psychological warfare, and it works perfectly. All of this political scheming is building up to the story's most famous moment, the Ides of March. And as you're about to see, this isn't just some date on a calendar, it's a deadline with destiny. You know, Caesar doesn't just walk into this blind. The universe is practically screaming at him to just stay home. There's a soothsayer who literally shouts a warning at him in the middle of the street. His own wife, Calpurnia, has these awful nightmares that she saw his statue gushing blood. The weather itself is going crazy, with storms and all sorts of strange signs. But Caesar's pride is just too big. He's convinced he's invincible, so he blows off every single warning. And this is it, the chilling, iconic line. It's a direct public warning about the danger waiting for him on March 15th. And what does Caesar do? He dismisses the guy as nothing more than a dreamer. And so he goes to the Capitol. The conspirators move in, they surround him, pretending they're just asking for a favor, and then it happens. The attack is fast, it's brutal, and it is deeply personal. One senator strikes first, then the others join in, each one stabbing Caesar. But the last cut, the one that truly breaks him, it comes from his trusted friend Brutus. And you, Brutus? Those are his last words. And it's so much more than a question, isn't it? It's the ultimate expression of shock and betrayal. In that final moment, Caesar seems to realize that if even his honorable friend Brutus is part of this, then all is lost. So Caesar is dead, but the story is far, far from over. The conspirators might have won the physical fight, but now a whole new battle begins, the fight for the hearts and minds of the Roman people. A war of words is about to kick off. And this is where Brutus's idealism becomes his biggest weakness. Cassius, who's always the practical one, warns him. He says, do not let Mark Antony speak. He knows how dangerous Antony is with words. But Brutus, wanting to seem fair and noble, agrees. He's so sure that the people will just listen to his logical reasons and understand. And this turns out to be a massive, catastrophic mistake. Just look at the difference here. First, Brutus gets up and gives this very calm, logical, rational speech. He says, I killed Caesar for the good of Rome. And for a minute, it works. The crowd is on his side. But then Antony takes the stage. And he uses pure, raw emotion. He's passionate, he's sarcastic, he's brilliant. He reminds them of all the good Caesar did. And his final killer move? He reveals Caesar's will, showing that he left money and parks to every single citizen. And with that, the crowd just explodes. They go from supporters to a raging, murderous mob in an instant. So, Antony's speech basically set Rome on fire. The conspirators have to flee for their lives, and what started as a political assassination quickly spirals into a full-blown civil war. From here on out, everything just falls apart for them. Once they're away from Rome, you start to see the cracks in their alliance. Brutus and Cassius get into these bitter arguments. Then, at the huge Battle of Philippi, a simple misunderstanding on the battlefield makes Cassius think all is lost, so he has his own servant kill him. When Brutus finds his body and realizes the battle is lost anyway, he decides the only honorable thing left to do is to take his own life as well. So the war is over. The conspirators are all dead, but the play leaves us with one last, really powerful judgment, and it comes from the last person you'd expect, their enemy. Mark Antony, now victorious, stands over Brutus's body, and instead of celebrating, he pays him the highest possible respect. He says that all the other conspirators did what they did because they were jealous of Caesar. But Brutus alone truly believed he was acting for the good of Rome. Even in victory, Antony recognizes the honor in his enemy's motive. And that really brings us to the core question of the whole play, one that we still wrestle with today. So what do you think? Was Brutus a hero, a patriot who made an impossible choice to save his country? Or was he a naive traitor whose actions ended up destroying the very republic he was trying to protect? Shakespeare gives us no easy answers, leaving it up to us to decide.